It's now my great pleasure to present Chief Warrant Officer Stapleton.
I can already tell you that a large Americano with 4 shots is way too much. I'm shaking like a leaf. But I'd like to thank the captain, the crew, Chief Lee and his family, and you, our guests, for taking time out of your busy day to come here and partake in today's events. As BM once said, this is a time-honored tradition, and it's an important part of the coming and goings of a Coast Guard station. And while I'm a bit biased, I think this is the greatest of any Coast Guard billet that any of us Coasties could ever serve. As I embark on a new part of my career as a warrant officer, I'm excited, yet a little bit saddened that I will no longer be called a chief. Last week, both the crew and I had a hard time getting out the word sir or bosun, as chief is just such a revered position and title in the Coast Guard. One of the origins of the title of chief in our service, besides the Navy rank, is that it was the title of the person in charge of a remote life-saving service station whose sole responsibility was to save the local fishermen and watermen in peril. This was a person who was most likely raised in the community and made it up through the ranks of the life-saving station and was put in a position because they had the most experience and were respected in the community. Chief Lee, you are that guy. Thank you for making this transition as easy as possible, and I'm sure that Station Maui will be as great as experience for you and your family as it was for mine. This is the part that I would normally go into the bit about how the Hawaiian culture is such a great culture, and I'm sure that you will make the adjustment from Florida well. But I don't have to do that, because if you only make it 2 or 3 more tours in District 14, you're going to be the Joshua James of Hawaii name. I'm proud to be handing the keys over to you as the first Hawaiian chief of any Coast Guard unit in Maui's history. I'm truly humbled, and I feel like all the rest of the OICs and I were just here holding your spot. Welcome home. Station Maui is one of the last great traditional Coast Guard search and rescue stations outside of the Northeast and Northwest, and the jobs we do are just as they were in the old life-saving service days, but we just don't have to row. Our crews are expected out in unpredictable weather, in dangerous channels where no one else normally would go, and these missions are the memories that I'm going to think about for years. When the Eagle's engine is turned off, and all there is to be heard is the sails flapping and the rigging is creaking under the strain of the open ocean breeze, I'm sure my mind will drift quickly to the sunsets underway in between Molokai, Lanai, and the shores of Lahaina. Coast Guard Station Maui is one of the last stations in the Coast Guard where the chief is a chief and the crews are small, and both are closely bonded due to remoteness. And their partnership has a great effect on the community at large. While Maui has more than 2.5 million visitors a year, and 2 million of those visitors are estimated to enter the water, it's still a small community. It has been one of the greatest experiences of my life, my wife's life, and it has been the greatest place I could have ever hoped to raise my 2 beautiful kids. The awesome beaches, the clear water, and the family integrity-based culture of the Hawaiian Islands, not to mention the depth and knowledge of its watermen, has forever changed my course as a human being. As a chief of Coast Guard Station Maui, I've had the great opportunity to get to know many people that I would not have normally gotten the chance to know that I have been given this opportunity. Mayor Arakawa, Chief Murray, Karikiyama, Matt Yamamoto, Chief Ramos. It's been a pleasure to work with you and your agencies, and I thank you for interacting with me like I was going to be here for an eternity, not just as a guy who was filling the seat for 3 years. Your guidance and wisdom have again changed my life forever, and I'm truly humbled to have worked alongside you and your staff. Your knowledge of the ocean, your leadership, and your friendships are some of the most treasured gifts that I've ever been given. Dave Kingdon, your energy, drive, and zeal to help the community is second to none, and the partnership we have with AMR has changed and saved so many lives and will continue to do so in the future. Thanks to your innovation and forethought, Medic 15 and Coast Guard Station Maui's legacy are forever entwined. To Captain Gilreath and the Sector Honolulu staff, thank you for your guidance, your expertise, and your friendship, and your willingness to let the command and crew of Station Maui do what we do best. We have never gone without the support we need to train, maintain, or operate one of the most remote area responsibilities in the world. Flotilla Commander Mike Keurig and the rest of the Coast Guard Auxiliary, thank you so much for your support and your efforts in boating and ocean safety. While I know you and your flotilla are bummed to have lost your last facility, there are so many ways that your efforts have positively affected the community. Your boating safety classes and vessel safety programs are exemplary and have saved many lives. Thank you for being part of our Station Maui family. Larry and Denise, I'll miss our lunches on the lanai of the Malaya General Store and listening to the tales of the police force in Seattle and to the tales of other rescues and past antics of the last cruise. Thanks for your mentorship and support of the station and its crew. This place would fall apart if it weren't for your presence. Lieutenant Saul, Larry, and Schlarry, and the newly pinned MST-1 Vasquez. You'll always be part of the Coast Guard Station Maui crew, and it was a true pleasure to serve and live beside you. Your efforts in marine safety and commercial vessel regulation on this small but insanely busy island are truly monumental. Thanks for being there for us, and to Larry, thanks especially for being the other chief on the island that I can always bounce stuff off of any hour of the day or night. To Joe, Chad, and the rest of the Coast Guard Station Maui, thank you from the bottom of my heart. You made this job the most exciting, the most rewarding, and the most enjoyable job I will ever have. I've watched you all learn and mature so much in the last 3 years as a team, and have seen you overcome insurmountable difficulties, including rough weather, logistics, and a very large transfer season to become quite possibly the best group of coasties I have ever had the chance to serve with. I will continue to follow your missions and your careers with great interest. Your professionalism, your willingness to never give up, and your drive to save every victim, no matter the circumstance, is to be respected and made the difference between life and death in so many cases. Thank you for letting me serve as your leader. I have learned so much from each and every one of you. Ed, Mr. Fazio, and the NOAA staff, it was always great working with you as well. As a kid, I had a dream, but not the grades, to become a marine biologist. If they are all as intelligent, patient, and willing to help animals and the environment as you, I see now that I've needed some serious job mismatch counseling, and eventually I would just not been able to hack it with my peers. You are some of the most intelligent and caring people I've ever met. Pastor Ben, I thanked you before, but I thank you again for keeping Hope Chapel going. Both my wife and I have come back to the faith and followed the Lord since we have come to Maui because of your great church. While I still have some vast improvements to make within myself, your church has gotten us back on track, and I look forward to streaming all the services I can while I'm in port or even underway and close to shore. Teddy, Keiki, and the rest of the folks at Hanaloa and Navai'eha Jiu-Jitsu, mahalo and for accepting me as one of your crew, and thanks for all the knowledge and patience you have shown with me. The job of the officer in charge of the lonely one, and you and the Ohana, helped me through this tour with plenty of handshakes and hugs when I needed them. As I write this, I'm actually pretty sure that they were in fact arm bars and chokes. I can't remember ever tapping out anytime anyone else ever tried to give me a hug. Either way, thanks for making me part of the light duty crew. Don, Travis, Tess, Kimo, and Siana, and the rest of the Waikapu Ohana, thanks for making Maui home. And thanks for accepting our family into yours and helping to raise my 2 kids. When you have a boy as wild as mine, you better have a village to help, and it was a great adventure. Your friendships made the distance to family seem negligible and the homesickness non-existent, because we always had good friends to talk to if we needed, and people to chase Tegan down if we looked away and gave that inch to break free. And finally, to the families, spouses, and partners of our crew members, I wish my family were in town today to join us for this occasion, but they had to move early to get started on our new adventure. Desi and I thank you for welcoming us to Maui and making our tour so enjoyable. We'll always remember your kindness. And most importantly, thank you for letting me and the citizens and visitors of Maui borrow your husbands, your wives, and your significant others to get this mission done. When they come home reeking of fish, diesel fumes, and are salty and sunburnt from the day in the water, searching for a missing snorkeler or fisherman, you are their lifeline, the ring buoy they need to stay afloat. And without the love of you and your children, we would all have sunk at one time or another. Desi's a bit cynical, and that's why I love her. And she's pretty sure that all we do all day is ride around on multi-million-dollar boats and cruise the Maui Triangle shoreline looking for damsels in distress. And Tegan was pretty sure that we were always out helping the backyard against Save the Fisher Lady. To be honest, it isn't always that glamorous. Sometimes our job is thankless. Our victims don't always make it, despite our best efforts. Remember that. Even the rescuers need rescuing sometimes. Keep a good eye on your loved ones, and take care of them for me. I'm going to miss them. The station's crew is just like the station itself, and it would fall into the sea if not supported with a great foundation that was built with love and care. Your love and support are the foundation and are just as strong as the lava rock this island is formed of. Thank you. With that, I'll close, and I thank each and every one of you for your support, and I will miss you all. I thank the good Lord and the Commandant for the opportunity that I had to serve as the officer in charge of one of the greatest units in the entire Coast Guard.